Hey guys, it's your girl Marielle. Welcome back to my channel, Friday Night Light Reviews, where we do reaction and reviews to TV shows, movies, and other digital content. Today, as you can see, I have a guest with me. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Torrance.
And she's going to be my guest today, and we're going to bounce off each other, and we're going to see where we both like the movie and where it falls in our 5-star category. So with that being said, if you are already here, won't you go ahead and click that like, comment, and subscribe button. Share this video with your friends and family. Don't forget to hit me up on my other digital platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Those links will be put down into the description bar. If you are a new subscriber, welcome to the family. And if you are OG, hey, and let's jump right into this review and reaction. So we're going to be reviewing Suicide Squad 2, premiered on HBO Max, and obviously falls under the DC conglomerate. So the movie was directed by the amazing James Gunn, who is known for Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, that's just one film to name. I mean, he's amazing in everything that he touches so far. And I definitely say that he did not disappoint with this direction in this movie. Would you agree with that?
Yes, definitely would agree.
Okay, so we're going to be doing something different today. Normally it's just me, so I go the positives, the negatives, the best points, and then we wrap it up with where it falls in the stars category. We're going to be bouncing off each other, so just stay tuned, sit back, and enjoy this review because I got my little road dog with me today. So let's just jump right into it. So the movie is starring Margot Robbie, Idris Elba, John Cena, Joel Kinnaman, and that's just to name a few, and your girl Viola Davis is in it again. So the plot is pretty much the supervillains are called to save the day one more time, to crack down on a building called what is it called?
Jotunheim.
The Jotunheim, and to destroy the government experiment called Starfish. And there's all these twists and turns and surprises that awaits us during this movie. So the movie is 2 hours and 12 minutes. It's definitely expected for a superhero, supervillain kind of comic book movie. So that wasn't a disappointment. So let's just go right into what I thought about the beginning, and then we're just going to go back and forth, okay? So for me, the beginning of the movie kind of started off slow. I mean, we see certain things, but it just wasn't what I expected. So I was low-key about to be like, I don't know. But I will say this. The beach scene that happens, and you guys will hit me up in the comments and let me know. This is where we kind of found out that there was an A squad and a B squad, and what happened on this island was crazy. And to take 1 point out of it, Pete Davidson was in this movie, and I thought he was gonna last, and he was only in there for like 10 minutes. So I was kind of upset.
Yeah.
And I was like, they better come with the real. But then again, it's James Gunn. I don't know too much of a disappointment that would have happened. So I love any movie that can throw me off my game, where I'm always used to not predictable movies that I could predict what's going to happen. And when a movie throws me off my game, that just makes me like the movie 10,000 times more. I'm loving Viola Davis playing the protagonist in this movie. She didn't really do that in the first one. It really suits her. And, she's a renaissance. She could do anything and be in any character. Again, James Gunn came through with the right amount of gore, right amount of blood and action and fighting scenes. He's a master at setting these scenes up. So you tell me what you thought about James Gunn and how he did everything with the movie, and you tell me about your points.
I think James Gunn did amazing, honestly. Hand clap to you and all the other movies you've made. I think, like, my personal favorite part of the movie was definitely the ending, but I won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. I did have a favorite character, which was Harley Quinn, obviously. And I think a huge positive point that James Gunn did in the second one, which he also did in the first one, was when every character had a heart-to-heart, and I was really happy that he put that in there. What do you think?
I agree. With the first one, I'll tell you how they compare at the end of this video. But I really did enjoy the heart-to-heart between Ratcatcher 2 and Bloodsport. They had some type of they had a little dynamic. Their kind of heartfelt stories were kind of parallel to each other. One from the child standpoint, and then Bloodsport, Idris Elba's character, from the father standpoint. So I really did like that heart-to-heart. And you know, my favorite character, and I know this is going to shock people because Idris Elba is my husband, but the guy who played the polka dot guy, he was my favorite. I don't know, he was just right here in my heart.
Yes.
His power, however how everything happened, it was just so cool. You think, okay, polka dots, that's kind of stupid and trash, but when you see that his polka dots are like chemically melting shit,
yes,
it was super good. And knowing what his story was, knowing that these are villains and his mother experimenting on him and his siblings to make them superheroes, it kind of like, it was like a good oxymoron for me. So that's
jumping off of that. The backstories with the new characters were great, just like in the first one when we found out what everybody's deal was. I thought they were amazing, and I'm really glad that James Gunn came through with the backstories. I was a little disappointed that 2 OG characters were not in the second one, like Deadshot, played by Will Smith, and the character Diablo. I was kind of hoping we would see them in the second one, but unfortunately we did not. But I'm just going to assume maybe they were too busy doing something where they couldn't come back.
Yeah, that could very well be it. So we're going to talk about the best points, the biggest positive points of the movie, and we're just going to see if we kind of line up, you know? So my first one is, I love how the scenes were explained. You know, most superhero movies is, we don't see, okay, fight scene. They kind of made it like a comic book where you see pow, punch, you know, den scene, alley scene. But the way they did it in this, if it was a cloud, we knew what was coming next. It was blood, it was water, it was sand, it was dirt. It was just so cool how he set up each scene to be explained, you know, just by words, by digging in each scene. The surroundings were amazing. The graphics was amazing. You know, it's really hard sometimes to not look stupid and phony when it comes to gore, where people's getting their head sliced off or getting their whole half of their body blown the hell off. And you're like, okay, it kind of looks stupid. But it wasn't. It was so worth every moment in this movie. I loved the cinematography.
Yes.
The colors in this movie were great. Another great positive was the bullet scene between Peacemaker and Bloodsport. You guys hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you thought about it. I love a good bullet scene where you see the bullet come out of the gun, hit another bullet, or slice somebody's head off. But the way it came together, I mean, guys, it was just amazing. What were some of your best parts of this movie?
The best part was, like when you said earlier, the heart-to-heart between the Ratcatcher girl and Idris Elba's character. I loved it. It just, you know, it really brought out everybody's true colors and emotions. And another one when they were all working together trying to defeat all the real bad guys. That was definitely one of my favorites. Definitely a lot of the fighting scenes were great. The gore looked real, not in, you know, other movies it doesn't really look real. Like you said, it would look ridiculous, but it really did look real in this one.
Okay, so another positive for me is obviously Harley Quinn's escape scene. I mean, Margot Robbie was the perfect cast to play Harley Quinn. Like, I cannot see anyone else playing Harley Quinn and doing it justice the way Margot Robbie does it. I mean, she just doesn't fall off. I mean, the consistency was so amazing, and that escape scene was stupidly amazing. As always, I do love Idris Elba. I loved his character Bloodsport. There's a scene where he does this concrete fall where he's falling all the way from the top all the way to practically the bottom, and he just looking all sexy and bomb, falling in his superhero fall. And that's what leads up to the bullet scene that I just discussed. I loved how when we find out that Starfist is not just only the name of the experiment, it actually are starfish that attack your face and just kind of like, the Body Snatcher kind of scary movie. It pretty much does that. And then it's this big ass starfish that controls everything. But when the starfish kind of made its appearance outside of the tank, it was, and the starfish, guys, is not very colorful. It's just pink and blue. But it was so vibrant that it made everything around in the scene look black and white. And I thought it was great. The next funny thing for me is back to Harley Quinn. We saw in the beginning that she was given a staff by another supervillain, and right near the end, she comes up with this revelation why she was supposed to use the staff and what it was meant for. And that really comes up into the end scene that we just decided, since we're doing all these spoilers for you guys, we're not going to spoil the end for you. I know that's like, whatever, you might as well do it. But I'm just telling you, the end is great, and I don't want to ruin that for you guys. Do you have any other positive points that you want to talk about?
I think I've given out all of my positive points. I think the rest are just negative points.
So that's the part of everything. The negatives for me, to be honest with you guys, and this is saying a lot, because DC for me, I'm all about Batman. I love Batman, and I can hold on to DC for dear life for some Batman. But I will say the only negative that I have to say is that it started off slow, where most superhero movies kind of like jump right at you, whether it's just dialogue or backstories or death or whatever. It didn't start that way, but it rounded it out, and it kind of makes you think that's not even a good enough reason to give it a negative, but we have to. And then the fact how fast Pete Davidson died, because he's so funny, and I would have really liked more of an interaction with him. So to see him die within the first 10 minutes, that was a disappointment for me. So that's my negative. What are your negatives?
Again, off what you said, I love Pete Davidson, and when I saw the trailer, I saw him and I was like, oh, I'm really excited. And again, definitely upset that he died in the first 10 minutes. I feel like something different should have happened with his character, and I had this whole idea in my head that he should have survived to the end, still being a bad guy, but should have been like somebody new to control the starfish experiment, and then die in the end, like have Bloodshot or Harley Quinn kill him. But that did not happen, so yeah. That's it.
So for me, out of the first Suicide Squad and this one, I like this one a whole lot better than the first one. What about you?
I really do like the first one better. I'm not saying that the second one was trash, because it was not. The first one just, interests me a little bit more.
So I like the second one. She likes the original. You guys, please come back into the comments and tell me, what do you think about the ending? Was it sad for you? Was it a revelation for you? Because there was things that was said that kind of tied the scene together. I mean, yes, we're always sad when your favorite character, something happens to them or it doesn't pan out for them. So look out for that and hit me up in the comments. Again, my favorite character was the polka dot guy. I just like how his powers came about through his mother experimenting on him, trying to make him a superhero when he turned out to be a villain. And the whole polka dots, he's got to expel them and it looks like vomit. It's just super cute. The second favorite character was Nuane. He was the shark. Yeah. And talking about num nums, and he wasn't stupid, and he tried to eat one of the characters. Those two were definitely my favorite. They kind of hit me in the heart. And I think every movie, when it comes to supervillains or superheroes, there's always that one villain or that one superhero that kind of tugs on your heart, and those two characters were for me. So at the end of it all, I'm giving, out of 5 stars, Suicide Squad 2 a 4.5 out of 5 stars. What are you giving it?
I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 for certain reasons that could be spoilers, so I won't say it, but that is my rating.
So together, our rating in the 5-star category comes up to 4.5 for Suicide Squad 2. Definitely check it out if you're in the theaters. If your theaters are open where you're at in the world, go check it out, because I'm pretty sure it would have been amazing to see in the theaters, but our theaters are not open where we're at. So next best thing was HBO Max, and they always come through in the clutch. This is definitely popcorn. There's so many jump scenes in here, and you know how I feel about jump scenes, as I talked about it in the Conjuring video that we recently did a couple of months ago. So at the end of it all, we say thumbs up to Suicide Squad 2.
Definitely.
And you guys should definitely check it out. And I'm very excited about the new extension to DC, where we're going to be seeing a whole new Batman by itself. And it's not going to be starring Ben Affleck. It'll be starring Robert Pattinson, who we know from Twilight, from Elephants in Water, or something like that. Please forgive me, I don't remember. But I'm feeling Robert Pattinson because what I saw him do in Tenet, so I'm looking forward to it. What about you?
I'm definitely looking forward to it. And of course, I'm not a big fan of Batman, but I am a big fan of Robert Pattinson. So I think that's the only reason why I'll be watching it.
So we are at the end of our video, guys. So as always,
be safe,
be courageous, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.